So hello guys and everybody, if you're watching this, as you know, this week's video was late, and I actually have quite a few videos I need to render. I'm actually going to end up having those done over the weekend and have them set to go for probably the rest of March, I actually think. I'm pretty sure with my backup footage and stuff, I have like most of March covered. At least for right now. Obviously, if other stuff happens, I'll do videos in between, but as of right now, yeah. But a quick update before we go into the topic of this video and explaining the title and a lot of other things. I would like to do a little promotion for a buddy of mine, for Adori on Twitter. I will have their information at the top of my description box below. They are an artist that I've met, and a great grandma Michelle. I've met Adori a couple times in person when I used to do San Japan, pre Six Spiky Round Boy. They were gravely affected due to Six Spiky Round Boy. They were also affected during the Texas freeze-out that happened earlier this year. They have lost their job, and they got their government assistance cut. And so they are pretty much doing emergency commissions right now to pay for their basic bills and groceries for the month. And so again, I'll have the Twitter post linking down below, and I just really want to use my platform to promote to somebody who, again, I trust and know very well and could really use a helping hand right now. Ironically enough, they are also the artist for this video. I did all the artwork. Oh, well, I know. See, I'm already rambling. They did the sketch. The sketches of my character Abijah for a D&D game that you guys will learn about at a later time, not at this time. But I was always surprised that my character got to be the example, so I asked Adori if I could color it. And so I ended up coloring it in stream. So this is a stream edit. I'm doing my best to like edit out random parts here and there, but trying to do a little better. So it's a little more eye candy for you guys while you watch it. But yeah, I did do the inks and the colors, and it is my character, but Adori did do the sketch. So yeah, if you want to help out an artist, you should totally check out that info down below. So now let's get into how I did a big oopsie. Yeah, and how my life is kind of spiraling at the moment. Usually, I started a new series on my channel where I talked about how I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk all about my monthly like wrap up and stuff like that. And I was actually going to do that for February on top of all the other stuff. And life just said no. And my cat's also saying no. If you can hear him, he's being very loud, and there's nothing I can do about that. He's yelling at the ghosts. But the ghosts of my apartment. But I learned recently, so a little bit of a backtrack. So on Valentine's Day, Cody and I ended up going off, and we did a nice little drive by the orchards. If any of you guys follow my vlog channel, which I don't update often, I know I'm bad, but hey, when life, just hits you, I don't really want to edit a vlog, so that's what happens there. But we ended up going to this orchard, and we did a nice drive through it, and we found they had a little shop. And in the little shop, we walked around, and we had a nice time, and we saw that they had hard ciders at the shop. I am a 28-year-old woman. My husband is a 28-year-old man. It is very legal to talk about alcohol, but I'm going to also just alcohol conversation here. And so I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to get a hard cider from the orchard? And it's like made with their apples and stuff like that, help a small business and help a farm and do all that. So we were really excited. We picked a cider out, and that was about it. Cause we're not beer people. I know from my my wine mom's video, it might seem like I'm not an alcoholic. I do drink. I do consume alcohol, and I do partake in the devil's lettuce every now and then. Again, it is legal where I am, but I think of it in moderation. I definitely don't consider myself an alcoholic. I definitely don't have drinks very often. I mostly have them around friends, if that, which especially with Six Spiky Round Boy, it hasn't been happening. So if I had to pick, though, I would rather have a cider over a beer. So, and Cody is the exact same way. So we had been saving it, and then what ended up happening was we just couldn't find a good time to drink because we wanted to share it, So skip to earlier this week, and on Sunday night, my friends and I, if you follow my Twitch channel, I know I'm promoting lots of stuff, but I've been a lot more active on Twitch lately and my other social medias, which are in my Linktree link down below. But again, under Adori's info, because I want to help a buddy out. So we ended up doing an impromptu recording of a D&D game for the D&D game that we stream on Twitch, and that will actually be going live on probably Saturday, or who knows, maybe Friday. Yeah, I don't know right now, sometime this week. That next part's going to go up on Twitch before it goes up here. But what ended up happening was we had an impromptu game, and it was late at night. We were having fun. And so how my husband and I have our setup, which is also important to the story, is I use my iPad because we webcam it. So I use my iPad in our bedroom, and he uses my desk setup in the living room because he is the DM. And so we were getting very emotional, and things were happening, and D&D shenanigans with trauma. And I ended up getting very thirsty, and we didn't want to leave. So what was in the room? Oh, my cider. So I had some, and it was very bitter, but it very much tasted like a hard cider. If anybody's had a hard cider, you know what I'm talking about. The cider alcohol-y taste, you know? And so I didn't think much of it, but I'm like, okay, maybe it's just stronger because it's like, again, it's organic, you know? We got it from an orchard. And so I was nursing it throughout the game. We ended up finishing the game. I gave some to Cody. He had a little bit, didn't really like it. And then for the rest of the night, I stayed up quite a few hours later, and I ended up having about 2 or 3 cups of it because it was a big bottle. It was a big bottle of cider, but it was very much a one-time bottle. They didn't have like a twist off top, so you can like drink multiple times, but you get multiple drinks out of it. Until eventually I was like, why am I forcing myself to drink this? I know it's expensive, but it's not tasting that good. Didn't taste bad, but it wasn't tasting as good as I thought. So then we're going to skip to Monday. And I woke up feeling like I was dying. And I actually got very scared because earlier in 2020, Cody and I actually found out that we did have Sick Spiky Round Boy. And we didn't find out till many months later, but we had gotten it right around end of February, early March. And we had the finger quote more mild symptoms. So I started panicking. I was panicking that we had it again. And I was in so much pain, but my sense of smell and taste were back. Or we're still here. And so I just felt miserable. And I didn't have a fever either, and I didn't have a cough. So I literally rushed to my shower. I like ran through because I had the worst sinus pressure I've like ever had in a long, long time. And it didn't help. I felt nauseous and sick all day, and I was really, really worried. And then, a TMI, by the way, for bodily functions. Our trigger warning, I should probably said that earlier, but I mean, obviously, with a title that I'm probably going to have this be, you should kind of be warned. But I ended up feeling like people who get sick a lot know what I'm talking about. I felt that rumble that, oh, I need to go to the bathroom right now. But it was like a growing rumble, so I'm like, oh my god, I wonder if I have enough time to line my trash can, because I have a very strong feeling it's gonna come out through both ends. And so I was right. I did have time to line my trash can, so it did end up going out both ends. And now I am also a person that usually when I get sick, I end up feeling better after I upchuck. After I throw up, I usually almost always feel better. I didn't this time, which is why I got even more worried. So my day literally consisted of shower, nap, upchucking out of both ends, shower, nap, upchucking. I couldn't hold anything down. And I had told myself, okay, if this continues and I can't hold anything down, I need to go to the doctor tomorrow at the time of remembering this, because I couldn't look at screens. I couldn't be around noises. I was just miserable. And I was able to eat. I was lucky enough, my neighbor, she kind of just threw it in my apartment. She didn't like come in and see me, but she did see me. My neighbor was lucky enough because Cody was at work, and she got me some ginger ale and a Powerade, and I was drinking water, and I was able to hold down half a bag of individual Sun Chips, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and 2 plain with nothing on them hot dogs. That's all I was able to keep down the entire day, which might sound like a lot to some people, but it's really not. And it's not the best for you, but it's literally all I could keep down. And so then the next day, I actually had a friend of mine reach out to me and be like, oh my God, Michelle, what did you eat? And I'm like, nothing out of the ordinary. And I don't know what was happening, because now I was at least cohesive enough. The sinus issues were gone, but I still felt very nauseous and very like worried, you know? So I was like, oh, should I go to the doctor at this point? I'm really worried. But what ended up happening was my friend was like, oh, well, you know that apple cider, like hard cider, can turn into apple cider vinegar, right? And I'm like, what? That can't be right. Because, fun fact, it's disgusting. But if you feel like you are about to get sick, this will not help with sick, spiky, round boy. So don't think of it that way. But if you feel that, like, for people who get sick a lot, because I used to get sick a lot as a kid, if you feel that, like, tickle in your throat, that a sore throat is coming, you know what I'm talking? Oh, oops, sorry about the mic. Yeah, hopefully people know what I'm talking about. I don't know how else to describe it besides like that tickle that you're like, something's not right. If you take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with a shot of water, like a cup of water afterwards, it'll sometimes clear out your system. And I've been doing that for a couple of years now, and it has stopped. I haven't had a sore throat in a few years from doing this, but it obviously doesn't stop anything heavy duty. But you're supposed to have a tablespoon. I always just assumed apple cider vinegar was like vinegar with like apple stuff in it. I didn't know that hard alcohol, hard cider can turn into apple cider vinegar, because it did not smell or taste like apple cider vinegar does. Trust me, I wouldn't have kept drinking it if it had. So my friend told me that, and I was like, well, that can't be true, because I've taken apple cider vinegar like shots and stuff to help with colds, and it did not taste like that. If it tastes like that, I wouldn't have been dumb enough to keep drinking it. Lo and behold, I was feeling better, so I'd eaten a little thing. I had a bagel, and then I ended up cleaning out my desk, and I found the cider bottle. Okay, I found the hard cider bottle with some alcohol still in it, and I dunked it in my sink just to clean it out. And the strongest whiff of vinegar just shoots into my nose. And I instantly knew I drank anywhere between 3 to 4 cups of apple cider vinegar. No wonder I feel like crap. That's why. So, yeah. I learned that, and I am now probably never drinking cider again. Again, I wasn't a big cider person either, but now I'm just like, nope. I learned my lesson. I'm still not feeling 100% today, but I am feeling leaps and bounds better than yesterday, and I'm not pushing it. But, yeah, I guess do your research when you're being an adult, because that's probably something I should have known. But I'm never drinking hard cider ever again. I'm also not gonna, like, blast the fucking apple orchard place either. I've had a couple of my friends be like, you should tell people if it's a spoiled batch or whatever. But I found out, because I did call the place, that nowhere on the bottles does it say you keep it refrigerated, or that you should drink it like pretty much like the day you buy it, if not shortly after. That wasn't written anywhere. Hopefully they do that in the future. But I definitely learned my lesson. And I am, boy howdy, and I paying for it. And my friend made the joke, which I think is where I'm going to leave it off on. My friend made the joke of like, well, hey, at least your insides are really clean right now. So, yeah, that's been my week. Been pretty bad. But we'll be back to normal content. Snowstalkers will be actually I think we're almost done with Snowstalkers soon. So, Snowstalkers will be done soon. And then I will get to post up my newest D&D thing. I will be doing it a little differently this time, though, with Snowstalkers compared to... or when Snowstalkers is done, I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently this time for my other campaign that I'm going to start posting up. I'm also not going to strictly have it on Fridays. What I think I'm going to do, depending on how long the episodes are for how I cut them, I will have them either be like they'll be like 2 days a week, just to spread it up a little bit. But yeah, I hope you guys will enjoy that. I am streaming more on Twitch. Please check out Adori Tan. And even if you can't get a commission, sending them a cup of coffee, or because they're doing it through Ko-fi, will help a ton. Again, trying to help people that were affected with what happened in Texas and just what's going on in the world right now. And I want to do more to help out people I also know. So yeah, thank you as always to my amazing Patreon patrons. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment for the bot if you can't think of anything else to comment for. Or if you were a big dum-dum like I was, or you had a food poisoning story or something, why don't you share it in the comments down below so we can all share in the fun, sad stupidness of us together, and we can bond over our shared we should have known better moments. And yeah, with that being said, guys, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.